What made her such a great model? Like, if she's laying on the street, did you direct her to do that, or what's the story there?
No, she drank too much pastis.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
At lunch?
She drank it, and then she needed to lie down. She will lay anywhere. So I said, oh, this is a perfect picture.
Welcome to Portrait Mode. This is a special episode for me because I am turning the camera around on my dad, legendary photographer Arthur Elgort. Not only is he a great and very present dad, but he was also the one who inspired me to be a photographer. He changed the idea of what fashion photography could be, and he pushed the entire industry forward, taking the models out of the studio and onto the streets. He championed the careers of then newcomers Christy Turlington, Naomi Campbell, Cindy Crawford, Linda Evangelista, and Carly Kloss, among others. He has been a major influence for over 50 years. From his Vogue covers, luxury brand campaigns, numerous photography books, and his celebrated documentary films on his passion subjects: jazz, ballet, and rodeo. I grew up coming to his studio, and now we get to shoot there.
Hi.
Hello.
Good morning. So these are your photos on the wall.
Yep.
Can you tell me a little bit about them?
Well, a lot of them are my favorites. So I would say Kate Moss, Patty Hansen, and Linda and Christy, and Jexa Gordon and Jenny. These are all my favorite models. They're getting older though, so I need new models. And this is Cindy Crawford. She was from Chicago, and she was afraid to come here, and I had to convince her she would do fine.
Yeah. How old was she in that picture, about?
Then I think 21.
Wow.
That's Patty Hansen.
Uh-huh.
And she's married to Keith Richard, which is there. And that's Linda Evangelista, which I discovered, and that picture was the first picture I took of her.
Yeah, it's amazing. Why do you think you were able to sort of discover so many of these models who then became really famous?
I think I was lucky. Lucky is a part of it.
Well-
And I always used to use people who said, oh, he's never gonna be good.
So what do you think makes a good model?
And then-
Is there something specific about each of these that
Well,
sort of
your
made
face,
them a
face,
good...
and
Their face?
the legs. If they have bad legs, forget it. You know, then they can't be models.
You know, you're pretty fast when you shoot, is that right?
Well, it used to be, yeah.
Well, but considering you're
consider,
pretty fast,
yeah.
so you're able to
I see
catch
it.
a
yeah,
moment and then
yeah.
you see something and then you just got it?
Yeah, yeah, and I take 1 or 2 pictures.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, and there was no digital, so they couldn't say, you did it wrong. You know, now they see it faster than me, right?
So I want to bring you over and do a picture of you
Okay.
in your studio. I think I'll have you over on this side. That
Okay.
way I have space to back up.
Okay.
So you be here, and I will take your picture with my little point and shoot, my favorite film camera.
Well, yeah, okay.
That looks cool. How many times have you been photographed in front of this wall?
A lot.
And then I'll move back. I gotta get the shoes, you know? You got the good shoes on.
Oh, yeah, and see, she knows how to move down.
I'll make you tall. I'll make you really
See,
tall.
now
I'll get
I
all the
can't
way.
do that anymore. I need a chair to do that, right?
All
A
right.
photo.
I think I got it.
Okay.
That was pretty fast.
So now what?
So now I'd love to take your picture over here, sort of in the middle of your studio and sort
Okay.
of see the whole studio behind you. It's nice to start out standing. First, I'm just gonna test my light. I have the 85 on, so I'm sort of close.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
They're-
so really
they're
get
there.
close. It's kind of nice what you were doing before. That's nice. You're a good model too, you know?
Well, if I can't find anybody else, I use me.
So you practice your posing in the
Yeah.
mirror? I'm coming in close. That was one of my lessons, right?
Yeah,
That's nice. That was a nice face. It was like happy but not grinning. Let's give you the Rolleiflex. Put it on the strap on. Let's see how you would really do it. That's nice.
Make me tall.
That's nice. Nice. All right, now I'm gonna do you with my Rolleiflex.
Okay.
Not 2.8. 4 at 60. Yeah, that's really nice. Okay, so same thing that you did with the digital. That's nice. Right, it's like you're in between the shots. So
Yeah.
you've looked down, you've done it. A little happier. Okay, let me move back. Let me see if I can get the full wide.
Okay.
You know, you really got to get the shot with this because there's only 12 exposures.
Yeah.
Kind of makes you a little bit like, oh, I better get it. That's good. Oh, that's a nice smile, actually. So let's look at a couple of the photos that we've
Okay.
done so far, and then we can see what we still need, right?
Yeah.
So that's a nice full length.
Very good. Good, too.
Similar. I'm going to mark sort of, as it makes my editing easier later.
Okay.
That,
Very
I
good.
like that.
That's good because I.
You look like you're in action.
Yeah.
A little silly.
No, I don't like the legs there.
Yeah.
So you can.
What is it about legs that you like versus don't like?
Well, because there's no room in between.
It's a
See,
nicer
that's better.
stance, yeah.
No or
Yeah,
not?
I
That's
agree.
not a good. So
Yeah.
get rid of that.
All right, we can delete.
Yeah.
That's nice.
You're good enough.
How's that?
Now you have no legs. And you don't see the bottom.
You want me to sit in a chair?
Why not? Yeah.
Okay, are you ready?
Yeah.
Open up that left eye a little bit. Yeah, that's good. Not so much. I gotta get the beret.
Oh, good. This makes me look like I have hair.
Keep changing the face a little bit. That's nice. You're very French. Cool. Nice. Yeah, that's cool. Really cool. Amazing. So, what makes a good studio? When you came in, how did you know it was going to be a great studio, even though
Well, I like big,
high ceilings,
yes, and this is high enough.
like 20 feet, would you
Yeah.
say?
And I would say now everybody else has a studio. It's either rented or they get in there and then they leave, right? You don't own the studio at,
Pier 59.
no, I don't think so. So you got to take all your things out, right?
Right,
This way, I leave it here. I leave it in there.
right. And what about the light in the studio?
I can't complain about the light. You know, now if you're in the daytime, I mean, let's say 8 o'clock,
In the morning?
yeah, then it's very sunny. Then it comes back and it goes around and then it comes there, good. So even when it's dark, it's not really dark.
Right. So this book you made when I was probably 8?
Yeah.
What's so great about photographing kids?
Well, they're easy because they don't think about it. They couldn't care.
At the kitchen table, I remember there was a little basket next to the
Yeah.
kitchen table, and you had your cameras in there,
Sure.
and you would just take 1 or 2 snaps. It was
Yeah.
never like in our face. Did you always hope that one of your kids would be a photographer?
Well, I thought they were all going to be
You thought we were all going to be
Well,
photographers?
well, they were a good subject.
I think what's interesting is how you didn't set up these shots,
No.
right? It wasn't like you came over to us with the camera
No.
and said, oh, and now we're going to shoot. So you just sort of watched what was going on.
Yeah, I had fun.
So when you don't have a subject around, a lot of times you practice on yourself.
Of course.
Sometimes in the mirror.
Yes.
So let's go over. I want to see how you do it. I kind of like this. I got to grab a shot. All right, and then I'm gonna come into one. So how'd we do?
Good, good.
This was sort of the original selfie, huh?
Well, kind of. Now, if you look carefully at this picture, that was in New Orleans, and this is my room.
This was your hotel room in New Orleans?
Yes,
Who were you there with?
Grace Coddington, and these are the models called Christy and Naomi, and they're kind of famous. Now, if you look carefully at this picture, Christy doesn't play the soprano saxophone. That's a fake.
How did the shoot come to be? Did Grace call you up and say, Arthur, I want to go to New Orleans?
Yeah, and I want a story about New Orleans, but I want it all the time doubles.
You wanted 2 girls in it.
Yes, but then I add stuff that makes me feel at home. So if you look carefully, you'll see George Benson and Dexter Gordon.
To make it jazzy. And are those
Kinda.
photos that you took?
Yeah, of course. I don't, even you, I don't use your pictures. I can still take a picture.
You can.
Yeah. And then Naomi, I said, now learn this lyric.
So she's
That-
studying.
So she's studying, she never learned the lyric.
But it
So-
looked good.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, let's change things up and do some rapid fire questions.
So now what?
So these are rapid fire questions.
Oh, what?
So you answer just quickly, you don't have to think hard about it. The first thing you think of, and
Okay.
short answers. All right, ready?
Yes. Ah,
Last song you listened to,
the Beatles.
last movie you watched,
Priscilla.
favorite kind of film.
You mean like Western?
Oh, I meant like film and a camera.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you meant.
But that's also good. to
No,
know.
I mean, yeah, okay. My favorite film is Triax.
Favorite camera,
The Rolleiflex or this camera because it's light.
last person you called on the phone,
You.
worst advice you ever received.
I never listen to advice, so I wouldn't know.
Okay, so now these are similar. This game is called This or That.
Oh,
Okay? Uptown or downtown?
both.
Subway or bus?
A limousine.
You're such a subway guy. Digital or film?
I like film better because they don't bother me as much. The digital's nice because I can see my mistakes.
Color or black and white?
Black and white,
Handheld or tripod?
just handheld.
Portraits or landscapes?
Portraits.
That's it. You did a great job.
That's it? Can I go now? Can I have the money, please?
I had this idea because there's this picture you took of me when you originally
Yes.
taught me how to use a Rolleiflex.
And you were young.
I was young, but I was thinking maybe we could recreate the picture and you could turn the camera around on me since I've been directing you all day. Like
With that.
sort of recreate this,
Okay.
okay?
Oh, I look good there.
You do look good there. So you tell me how close you want me. Is this
Okay.
good light?
Yes, very good.
And
Now,
my hair was sort of like all
yeah,
over.
yeah. Now remember, I like to see your face a little bit. Can I? And can you come closer? Okay. Can I see you more? Yeah.
You get it?
Yeah.
Let me see. Oh, I love it. That's great.
No, I used to be a photographer years ago.
Can that be my new headshot?
Sure.
When you shoot in the studio, you usually also go outside for a couple shots.
Well,
Is
yeah,
that right?
because I know the Crosby Street well.
So should we go outside for a couple shots?
Sure.
I have this guy, my Super 8.
No, very good. And I have the light camera.
So remember that picture of me in the book?
Yeah,
It's right here.
yeah. I'll show
So
you
you
where.
use this
No,
area
Cross
a
Street
lot,
Street.
right?
Yeah, mainly Cross Street.
So you like the cobblestones?
Yeah,
You're a New Yorker. You grew up here, and then now this is sort of a set for you also, right?
Yeah.
You kind of use it as your set.
you kind of. I don't like to walk far.
So you go around the corner.
Kind of, if I can.
So
Yeah.
I want to photograph you with this
Yeah.
Super 8.
Yeah, but you like me to come there more?
I think I kind of like this in the
Okay,
back for
okay.
me. You can take some pictures, like you're taking pictures of
Yeah,
something.
of course.
You know what I mean?
I am.
So that will sort of be the story, and I'm shooting you and just kind of pivot. I'm rolling.
Let me see your eyes once in a while.
That looks cool. When you shoot here with your models, what do you usually have them do?
Well, I use these grading a lot.
You use the grading a
Yeah,
lot?
and then
What do you do on
sometimes-
it? Like, what would you direct them to do on it?
Show their legs.
All right, let's do it one more time where you sort of look like you're looking around and you're taking a picture of
Yeah.
something. And right one more time, right at me. And then just put the camera down and just kind of stand there like you're looking around. That's nice. Look at me. I'm coming in close. So let me just take a couple on this. That's a great shot right there. And I'm gonna come in a little closer. That's nice. Put that, yeah, I like the point. And there. Perfect, I think we got it. Thank you. That was
Hello.
fun. Thank you for being my subject and letting me turn the camera
Yeah.
around on you.
Thank you.